Hey, what's up, y'all? So if you guys have been paying attention to my channel or my Instagram any lately, you'll know that I just finished the 2020 Music City Open, and I'm happy to announce that I took down my first win at a PDGA sanctioned event. So we'll go ahead and cut to the trophy ceremony there and let you see that.
Ladies and gentlemen, your 2020 MCO champion in the MA3 division, Tanner. Say that
Stringer.
Stringer. All right, Tanner Stringer.
All right.
I'm not a sponsor, but I do throw all trilogies, specifically dynamic disc. So I want to shout them out. Wonder Disc Golf. If you want to check out my YouTube channel, check out T-String Disc Golf. So there's three things here about this tournament that I kind of want to talk about in a recap of how the tournament went for me. I prepared for this tournament in a different way than I have for any other tournament I played. It's been a while since I actually have played a tournament. I believe I'm going on around 6 to 8 months, somewhere in there. And I've been playing disc golf for about a little over 3 years now. But this was my biggest event that I've ever played in, and I really went into this event wanting to do well and hopefully win. But I really tried to take a different approach on my strategy leading up to the tournament. And there's three things that I really wanted to focus on. The first was how I practiced at the courses. So we played 3 different courses. We played Naval Hill Disc Golf Course or Shelby Park. If you guys haven't watched my video on that, I'll have it up in one of the cards up here at the top of the screen. If you want to check it out, those videos have gained quite a bit of popularity here lately. But I played there at Two Rivers Disc Golf Course. Also, I have the video there, so you can check that one out as well. And then we played at Baby Cane as well. If you haven't ever played Baby Cane, it's right next to Cane Ridge Advanced. So playing 3 different courses in 3 different days, I knew that I really needed to have solid game plans going into each of the courses. So I got out to all the courses multiple times outside of Baby Cane and really just took my time going through the courses, figuring out what lines I wanted to throw, what discs I wanted to throw, and I really didn't do too much scoring while I was out there. I know in both the videos that I did at Naval Hill and at Two Rivers, I did do a first shot scoring round, but to be honest, I really wasn't paying attention to my score that much, as I was just looking at what holes I wanted to birdie, what holes I wanted to be just parring on, and then of course I was just trying to eliminate bogeys altogether. If you guys have watched Brodies' latest video, I believe it was his latest one, and him talking about just how he prepped for some of his latest tournaments and how he's found success in that, and not just playing so many scoring rounds over and over and over, but really just focusing on learning the course and having a solid game plan going into it. Just a quick shout out to Brody. I'm sure if you guys are watching my video, you've seen his videos. But Brody really does a good job of explaining kind of his mindset going into tournaments. So check that out. I'll have those video links down in the description. But so going into the tournament, I knew what I wanted to do on pretty much every hole on the course. Now there's times where wind or different conditions can affect how you have to throw, or maybe you get off the fairway, so you have to be prepared for all those things. But I knew what my game plan was going into the tournament. And I can pretty confidently say on almost every single hole, I stuck to that game plan. And I'll talk about, stay tuned until the end of this video, and I'll talk about how that came to pay off at the end of the tournament. So I had that. Second of all, my mental attitude going into the tournament and how that related to my game plan was really big. So I've been doing quite a bit of reading lately on on my mental game and everything, and just on how you can really break down the game of golf, you know. And that you don't necessarily have to birdie everything or park everything or necessarily make every putt, but how you can really dissect the game and really just stay in a good mental state while you're playing. So there was quite a few times during the tournament, I won't lie, that I had some mistakes that cost me some strokes, or I missed some holes that I really thought would be the easiest ones to maybe birdie. But I really tried to stick to my game plan and not get out of the game mentally, but just stay in a good spot. Luckily I had my caddy, Daniel, and he really helped me, you know, if I was getting a little bit stressed out there, if I just needed to crack a little joke, smile a little bit or something, it really helps. So if you guys are in any tournaments and you can get a good friend to caddy for you or something, for one, you don't have to carry your bag, or in my case, push the cart. But also it just really helps, I think, at least for me, to have somebody out there just kind of have fun with, just to help me relax. So then the third thing was my putting. Coming up to this tournament and all previous tournaments that I've played, honestly, if my putting would have been even 50%, even close to 50% better in any of the tournaments, I probably would have won a lot of my tournaments that I've played, but I've always really struggled on that. And lately I've been putting a lot of focus on practicing putting, but not just going out and practicing 50 footers or 40 footers, but practicing the small, little short 10-foot tap ins, the 15 footers, the 20 footers, all the little ones that really make the difference when you're putting, and that gets you those birdies, but also a lot of times gets you those par saves and everything. So the way that I practice putting was going out to the field and doing my field work, you know, just getting 100 reps up or something, but also when I was playing practice rounds at the courses, you know, I would go from the worst shot that I had and I would putt 5 times from there, and then I would straddle putt the same from 5 times from there. And if you've watched Brodies' video, I think he does a good job of doing that, of really simulating where he might not really prefer to putt from in the tournament, but what might actually happen in the tournament. So going up and leading up into this tournament, my putting was feeling better than it ever had before, and it showed in the tournament. I putt with the Wardens, the classic burst Wardens, and honestly, I can say that they are what won me the tournament. I was hitting putts everywhere inside circle 1, some circle 2s. I don't know the actual stats because we didn't record them, but I'm pretty sure I was at least 75% in circle 1 in all 3 rounds. So I'm very pleased with that. So between all 3 of those aspects, it really helped me to just be able to, even though it was a close race, I only ended up winning by 1 stroke. I was able to stay in the game mentally. My game plan prepared me for it, and my putting is what carried me to the finish. So if you guys are still watching the video here and everything, one thing that I want to talk about a little bit on how it ended was the ending. So our final round was at Baby Cane, and we were coming down into the final stretch, and me and the other leader were tied. He came into the round with a 2-stroke lead on me, and I believe it was by hole 7 and fought back to even with him. So from that point on out, we went back and forth. So throughout that whole round, I decided that I didn't want to know the scores until I had driven on hole 15. That was the decision that I had made, unless I did ask Daniel a couple times if there was anything I needed to worry about from Chase card, but there wasn't. So it's just really how the scores on our card were going, which of course I knew the scores approximately, but I didn't know exactly what was going on. So going into hole 16 then, after hole 15, we were tied for the lead, I had 1 stroke on the guy behind me. So then on hole 16, I parred it, he birdied it. Going into hole 17, we're tied at, I believe it was 14 down. 13 down, So hole 17, we both birdie. He hit a very clutch putt from about 25 to 28 feet to birdie it. I had a tap-in birdie. So then going into hole 18, we were both tied at 14 down for the tournament. So we knew that whoever took that hole down was going to win, or we'd push into a playoff. So my game plan, and this is how it ties back in the game plan. My game plan was to go with my new bounty off the tee. Allergies are getting me. And my game plan was to go with the bounty off the tee. He had the tee first, and he threw a sidearm, hit a tree, dropped to about 60 feet. The hole, if you haven't ever played Baby Cane, is about 220, 230 feet. Very steep uphill. I'll probably show a little picture from the basket facing down the fairway here. But he hit it, dropped to about 60, so it was looking like a par for him. I was third on the tee, and I had never been that nervous in my life for anything at all. But I debated on what I wanted to do, whether I wanted to change my game plan, play a little bit safer or not. But I ended up making the decision to grab the bounty and just go straight at it. And honestly, in my mind, I was thinking ace run it, because you have a backstop behind it. So I was just thinking, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to try to ace this and just end it right here. So I stepped up, took a breath, got a little bit of dirt on my hands. My heart was beating out of my chest. Had to step back again, get some more dirt on my hands because they were so sweaty. But then I stepped back, I was like, Lord, help me hit the chains. And I just released it. And I really thought I was going to have a walk-off ace. But turns out I put it about a foot from the pole, pin high on it, had a tap-in birdie for the win. So what I really just want to focus on there is my mental game, any other time I believe in my disc golf career, I don't know if I would have been able to have held up to the pressure there. But some of the preparation that I've been putting in for the mental game is really paying off. And I'm not saying that that will pay off necessarily in every tournament with a win, but I think it will help keep me in contention. Second of all, sticking to my game plan, I believe, is really truly what won me the tournament. Because I think if I would have gone with a different play, I definitely probably wouldn't have birdied the hole. But it was a really big confidence boost to stick to my game plan the entire tournament and never really waver from it much. So those were just kind of the highlights of my tournaments. I mean, the biggest thing was my putting, guys. If you don't have a putter that you like, check out the Dynamic Discs Warden. I putt with these Daniel putts with them. I know a lot of people do, but I mean, guys, join Team Warden. They're amazing. They feel great in the hand. I know a lot of websites are sold out right now, but you might have to wait a little while, go to your local retailer, but pick some up. The next disc that was really big for me, if you guys have ever watched my In the Bag or seen any of my videos, the harp, the West Side harp, is always a staple in there. Always was with me for all the approaches that I needed, off the tee on some of the shorter ones. I only had 2 bogeys and 1 double bogey in the tournament, so a lot of that was due to my approaches with the harp. And then the last disc, guys, is the new DD Bounty. This hasn't dropped in the stock run yet. This is a Trilogy Challenge one. I also have the AT&T Stadium one. Both of these are fusion plastic. But these things are amazing. They feel great in the hand. If you guys haven't watched my review yet of it, go check it out up in the, I'll have a card up here at the top of the screen for that. But these things are flying amazing. They're a great new understable mid-range from DD's lineup. And I believe their stock runs will come out here at the end of October, early November. So stay alerted there to DD's website for those to drop, because you're gonna definitely want to get your hands on some of these. So I'm really excited about my first PDGA win. I have a few more tournaments coming up this year. I'll be jumping up into the higher divisions from here. So I averaged 940 rated golf out there at the MCO, so I know I have room to improve, but overall I'm super excited about that. So I just want to give a shout out here to Dynamic Discs. I love rocking their apparel and everything, but also all their discs are just amazing. All their equipment works great for me. I know sometimes it might sound a little bit cheesy for me to always just be plugging for them, but honestly, guys, I just truly love DD as a company. I love for what they stand for, how they're trying to grow the sport, and also, of course, their equipment is great too. So really check all their stuff out. Head on over to dynamicdisc.com if you want to see some of their stuff. Also, another company that I'm really coming to love is Wander Disc Golf. I'm wearing their hat right now. This one was with me on Championship Sunday, so I just love their designs, honestly. If you go check them out, I believe they're based out of Wisconsin or Minnesota. I'm not for sure. Somewhere up north a little bit. But guys, their designs are amazing. And these hats are truly some of the most comfortable hats. I have another one on the way, and I got a few shirts on the way, so I'm sure I'll be wearing them in upcoming videos. But really check out Wander Disc Golf at wanderdiscgolf.com. So hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you guys haven't subscribed to the channel yet, go ahead and do that. Turn on bell notifications. That way you know when I come out with new videos. Do me a huge favor, like this video, and we'll see y'all in the next one.